Soul Reaver Legacy of Kain is a game that pretty much defined my childhood, with games like Metal Gear Solid,
Fox Sound,
Crash Bandicoot, and Siphon Filter in my house. Soul Reaver stood out head and shoulders above the rest. The gothic, etheric style, the beautifully written dialogue and story.
What madness is this? What pitiful form is this that I have come to inhabit? Death would be a release next to this travesty.
Just captured my little cherub mind straight away. I couldn't get enough of it, even if I couldn't fully play the game without cheats. But I'm already working on a series of videos about Legacy of Kain. Today I wanted to talk about the new Soul Reaver 1 and 2 remaster and shamelessly praise one of them. So why don't we go through each game and see what's different? The graphical update here is amazing. Like, I had no idea that these guys look different. I thought they were all just copy and paste. This one, bold. But this is just a pre-rendered cutscene that I think they recreated with modern methods and matched it to the original. Maybe, or they just did some, sharpening on him. I don't know. But if it's the way I think it went, this is incredible. The cutscenes where they use the in-game models and textures, though, is where it really shines for me. Raziel looks amazing, with a bit more meat on his bones and a lot more detail. I do think they mapped the new textures and models over the old. There's some camera angles here and there that are kind of blocked by the new bulkier models. It's not a big deal at all, but sometimes it is a little bit noticeable. But only sometimes. I think maybe 2 angles in the whole game. All the characters look so good. From the first spectral enemies, the Sluagh.
What scabrous wretches are these?
Sluagh, the scavengers of the underworld.
To the common vampires.
I knew my opponent's weaknesses, having suffered them myself.
All the way up to the incredible bosses. And the environment has never looked better. Cleaner, crisper, and they just pop now. Before, they were just painted textures on flat planes. Beautiful, yes, absolutely. But now they have depth and dynamic lighting. Speaking of lighting, the lighting in tunnels and buildings is incredible, especially when you have the Soul Reaver active. Giving off an area of light that just wasn't there in the original makes it feel like you're part of the world instead of separate, walking through a set piece. But the best update, in my opinion, is twofold. First is this teeny tiny compass up here. In the original game, there wasn't a compass. There wasn't a map at all that you could easily access, let alone just by pressing L1. So when Ariel says something like this,
far in the eastern mountains, a stifled titan stands in mute surrender, unwilling host to a parasitic swarm.
What the fuck?
does it make more sense? No, of course not. But now I know which way east is. And this beautiful little bastard right here, the interaction icon. So many times in the original, you'll run past doors or interactable objects without knowing about it. A lot of people 20 years ago didn't know you could use the spears off the wall because the game never tells you that. Not only that, but when you throw the spears at people, sometimes in the original, they just drop under the graphics. So you either be running around in circles, tapping B or square. Running around in circles, tapping square, possibly never to find it at all, because you had to get one particular point to find it. Now, you can see it. If you're a Puritan and all of this fancy shit is like putting bells and whistles on your favorite prostitute, You don't have to have it. You can just go into the pause menu and turn them both off. What? The remaster graphics too much for you and blowing your little tiny mind? You can easily turn them off by clicking L3. R3. Back, gameplay-wise, they haven't changed all that much. The game hasn't changed, obviously, but they've made some tweaks here and there. The spectral material shift has definitely been sped up. I have no idea why, but it has. One puzzle, though, has definitely been tweaked and made easier. In the Silence Cathedral, there's this time puzzle where you have to ring a bell and sprint over and hit the other one. In the original, it was very close and you had to be perfect. But in the remaster, as you can see from Exhibit A, I had plenty of time to look around confused because I'm an idiot and forgot what the bell was, and still had time to give it the old light stick slap. There was some issues, like this hallway vanishing on me until I left and came back. And there's some issues with textures mismatching, but I can forgive that because it was the same in the original. And that is what this ultimately boils down to, I think. The remaster is mostly swapped surface textures and character models, and that's fine.
And that's okay.
That's what a remaster should be. Fix existing issues and make it look gorgeous. And I think they've done that fantastically at the end of the day. Now, Soul Reaver 2 is a whole different matter. While Soul Reaver 1 was a complete remaster of all the textures, the lighting, and the character models, everything looked brand new. Soul Reaver 2, on the other hand, it is kind of lazy, to be honest. Mostly just being a sharpened texture pack with certain interactables having brand new designs. Like, take this for example. In the Dark Shrine, there's these pillars you can pull and complete a bit of a light and shadow puzzle. Now, in the original, it was easy to miss them and get a bit lost.
I like that one.
Sounds like a downside, but it was environmental clues that when you realized it, you were locked in and you were always out there looking for these rings to pull. Now, compare that to the remastered graphics. These things absolutely stand out and do not blend together at all anymore.
I changed my mind. I have that one.
Everything stands out in horrible Technicolor. Like, look at this. The sight you are greeted to when you go outside for the first time. It looks exactly the same as it did in 2001, except there's more trees. And some of the character models do look a little bit dodgy. Take Mobius. I don't know what's up with his skin. I don't know what's up with his skin. I don't know what's up with his skin. But it's like, so I think what they've tried to do is shadow from the hood. It doesn't matter what angle he's at. You've got the Soul Reaver pointed at his face. Nothing changes. Like, they've just mapped it to his skin, so he's constantly in shadow when he shouldn't be. It should be quite dynamic, but for me, the most unique and appreciated addition is the bonus material. The bonus material is a treasure trove of behind-the-scenes recordings, concept art, fan art, cosplayers. Not gonna lie, if I ever saw any of these bad boys and girls down at Cardiff Comic Con, I would go straight over to them and shake their claw. The closest I ever got was seeing someone dressed as a Slayer from Krull. That's a film I doubt no one knows anymore.
I'm old.
But by far, the best addition is the Lost Levels. The original game had a lot of cut content, and the story completely changed. That I will talk about one day.
Next time, baby.
Part of the content were these cut levels, and now you can walk through them finally, like a little museum. I'll be honest, it's not exactly earth-shattering stuff. There's not a lot to do here. Some of the switches are broken. The enemies are having their union-mandated break and won't attack until their smoke break is over.
I was known as Vladislav the Poker.
But it's a glimpse into the Soul Reaver that never was, and makes us, well, me at least, appreciate the story we got. If you guys are interested in the cut story, I'll link a brilliant video down below that goes through what the original story would have been. I think found from bits like the file directories and stuff. Absolutely brilliant video. I played this and recorded it through my PlayStation, so I don't know exactly what frame rate I was getting. If you guys know a way how to do that, tell me. I'm all ears. Seriously. But my playthrough was as smooth as the secretions of the Bombix Morai. I think a smart thing they did as well was to release this on more platforms than just PlayStation, opening the series up to more people than if they had just stuck with Sony. But now it's on all platforms for a pretty reasonable $24.99. Personally, I'd have just cut a $5 off and make it $19.99. I think that would have been the perfect price range for this. I wouldn't have batted a coiffed eyelash at that. And that's my thoughts on Soul Reaver Remaster. Tell me what you thought down below. I know there was a lot of bifurcation in the fan base of the character models, but I love them. You know, except for Mobius, obviously. Janos looks incredible. So does Vorador. Young Raziel. But still, brilliant. I do hope you enjoyed this video, guys. This is a new, very new format for me, trying to keep these videos short, because if you've seen my other videos, there's not many there, but if you've seen them, you know I love to talk, and I like to go deep. But I'm trying this out now for the first time to see if I can, so that I can make shorter reviews of things while working on my bigger videos. Like, I'm still working on my Legacy of Kain Blood Omen video. It's hard to find the time to do it. Hopefully this should be a lot shorter. Get them out quicker for you? I don't know. Whatever. I hope you like this, what I'm trying to say. But yeah, that is going to be it for this video, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for sticking around until the end. It does help, believe me. And I will see you next time. I don't know what's up with his skin. I don't know what's up with his skin. Nothing changes. You can easily turn them off by clicking L3. R3.